Ney's victory by granting him the title Duke of Elchingen. By the 16th of October, Ulm was surrounded by the Grande Armée, and on the 19th, Mack agreed to surrender. Almost the entire Austrian army had been eliminated from the equation, with hardly any bloodshed, with only a few thousand Austrians able to withdraw eastwards and join up with Kutuzov's approaching Russians. While Ney remained in Ulm, some of his men were detached to join Napoleon's main army, leaving him with fewer than 10,000 men. Napoleon pursued Kutuzov as the latter retreated along the Danube to join up with Russian reinforcements under General Fyodor Buxhoeveden. After occupying Vienna, Napoleon defeated the combined Austro-Russian army at Austerlitz on the 2nd of December. Ney had played no part at Austerlitz and had been fighting an Austrian army of 20,000 in the mountainous region of the Tyrol instead. On the 26th of December, the Treaty of Pressburg was signed in what is now the Slovakian capital of Bratislava, leading to Austria's withdrawal from the anti-Napoleonic coalition. The Kingdom of Prussia in northern Germany had stayed out of the war in 1805, but the Prussian court was anxious about Napoleon's ambitions in Germany and was split on whether to support or oppose him. By the late summer of 1806, the Prussians were preparing to go to war, and Napoleon mobilized his Grande Armée to confront them. Like the Austrians in 1805, the Prussians went on the offensive without waiting for their Russian allies to arrive and began concentrating in Saxony in southeast Germany. Napoleon decided to march on Saxony in a square order of battle, with 5th and 7th Corps on the left, the 1st and 3rd Corps and the Imperial Guard in the center, with Marshal Jean Soult's 4th Corps leading Ney's 6th Corps on the right. Each corps was one day's march away from its nearest neighbor, ensuring that any corps that confronted the enemy could fight a holding battle, with the knowledge that they would receive help within a day from the other corps. After the first clashes on the 9th of October, by the 13th, Ney received orders from Napoleon to concentrate on Jena, where Napoleon expected to find the main Prussian army of 60,000 men under the Duke of Brunswick, but which was in fact a smaller Prussian army under Prince Hohenlohe. On the morning of the 14th, Lannes drove back the leading Prussians while Ney and 6th Corps were still marching towards Jena. Keen to join in the fray, Ney defied the Emperor's orders and led his advance force of around 3,000 men into the attack to the left of Lannes. Ney's small force pushed forwards and were briefly isolated, facing a strong enemy counterattack, forcing him to form his infantry into squares to repel enemy cavalry charges. After desperate fighting, Lannes and Soult advanced on either side and renewed the attack. It was only at the end of the day, when the Prussians were in full retreat, that the rest of Ney's corps arrived on the field. Late in the day, Napoleon received a report from Marshal Louis-Nicolas Davout of 3rd Corps announcing that his single corps had defeated an enemy force of some 60,000 men at Auerstedt to the north of Jena. It was only then that Napoleon realized that Davout had been fighting Brunswick's main army. For the remainder of the month, Ney's relatively fresh corps joined Murat in pursuing the enemy and in capturing isolated Prussian garrisons. Their forces forced the surrender of Erfurt and Magdeburg at the beginning of November,